Facebook has just bought Oculus. Amazon has purchased game streaming company Twitch.
Thanks for talking to us here in the financial district of San Francisco. Who are you and what do you do?
So, my name is Casey McTeague. I am an attorney, but I work in-house at an M&A financial services company. In M&A, it's private to public or private to private transactions. We essentially work with people that have just sold their company, anywhere from really small companies to multi-billion-dollar transactions. And any issues that come up after the deal, I'm the one that the buying company comes to complain about or sue or ask for money, things like that.
So it sounds like a pretty full-on job. What do you do in your downtime?
Play video games. I do have one son and he keeps me busy most of the time now, but whenever he's in bed for that hour between bed for him and bed for me is usually video games.
What type of games do you play?
Play World of Warcraft, although that's been a lot more part-time than it used to be. I just finished the new Call of Duty single player. Play Civ, I was a big Civ 5 fan, and now I'm playing Beyond Earth.
You've also played World of Warcraft for a long time as well. Did you play right from the start?
Yep, I first logged in, I think, the last night of beta for vanilla. And obviously off and on since then, but from release up until I was getting close to graduating college, so about 2 years, I played, I would say, most days of the week.
You're pretty savvy with money. I heard that you sold your EverQuest character at one stage for a pretty penny.
Yep. High school I probably played a little bit more than I should have, but my EverQuest character was number 2 best of the best tournament, pretty well geared, sold him for about $1,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that worth the investment you put into him?
Absolutely not. I did it to break the tether that game had on my life. Per hour, probably came out to 30 cents an hour or something
nice.
like that. Yeah. So when I first played Warcraft, I was raiding, trying to level first, be the best. Once I didn't have enough time to do that, I tried to find other fun things to do. And I kind of figured out that anything that's illegal to do here makes you a lot of money in Warcraft, and you don't go to jail. So, I wasn't the first one to corner the market on commodities in WoW, but I certainly figured out how to do it. When they came out with the remote auction house, I bid into that immediately. So when I was at work, now that I'm not at that job anymore, I can say this, but I was definitely spending some time trading on iron ore and things like that and flipping it when it came to primetime rating. It would always pay more. And there's a great website, I don't know who created it, it's called the Undermine Journal, and it's basically a Wall Street Journal for WoW. And you log on to that, they tell you what the prices have been, what's trending up, what's trending down. You can then log into your WoW auction house account and trade on it. So I would buy ore usually in the morning when all the bots had just dumped all of it for dirt cheap, and then you sell it right before primetime rating starts, which is like, I don't know, 7 Eastern, something like that.
What were the most profitable commodities?
Anything that, well, it depended on the expansion. Last expansion I made a lot of money on food and ingredients to make banquets and things like that, because nobody wanted to bother. And it was really easy to flip. So you wouldn't make money unless you did it in huge quantities though. So what I would do is, and this is the illegal part in the real world, you buy out all the market, you just raise the cap or the floor on the goods, and then it just gets bought. So I didn't actually collect much in the world, I would just flip it. What I found is people in the auction house would specialize. So somebody would corner the market in bags. I knew one guy that made hundreds of thousands of gold back in Wrath of the Lich King just on bags. I was doing ore and raw materials mostly because I found it easier to measure and didn't take a lot of time.
What was the end goal of this? Was it fun? Was there a way of converting this back into real world money?
No, I never made any money on that. It was just a way to have fun with the game without spending 4 days a week from 6 to 10 rating.
Do you think your time in WoW prepared you at all for the work you do now, or was it more of a kind of a nice little distraction?
I actually would say it did. I mean, both EverQuest and WoW did that a bunch. When I was in EverQuest, I was a raid leader for a while. I was like 13 years old and I was running groups of 40 people and managing personalities and trying to get people to do stuff they didn't want to do. And that absolutely plays into my work now. If I'm talking to investors, I have to try to persuade them that something's the right course of action. It helps to understand where they're coming from, know what they're aiming for in the transaction, and that's all stuff you pick up. I picked it up from video games.
There's lots of people here who perhaps have been playing games their entire lives that you'd never maybe know about. You said one of your friends is a DA and he still plays WoW to this day?
Yeah, I won't out him on camera, but I have a friend who works as a district attorney. He went to law school with me. Huge World of Warcraft guy, still raids 4 days a week. Big StarCraft 2 player. Got married recently, and his wedding march was the Terran theme song. So.
Do you think you'll still continue to play games even though kids get older and work gets more serious? Is it an important part?
Yeah, absolutely. I use it to relax. I would probably say that my days of hardcore raiding are done. I don't see a time where I could devote 4 days a week to any particular thing anymore, let alone a video game. But they're a way to have fun, reconnect with friends. I've got friends in Korea, East Coast, Utah, here, that I wouldn't see at all otherwise. So it's a fun way to connect.
What's it like thinking that it's 10 years old now?
That I'm old. Yeah, the games that came out in that day were really changing the industry. It was exciting then, and it's great to see a game like WoW still going.